Kate.
Hi, how are you?
Oh, I'm good. Good to see you. I'm sorry for the fudge getting you recorded and everything, but it's working now and I have got you live, which is pretty
Oh,
exciting for me.
oh,
So
good.
you're,
As I said, I'm technically challenged, so I was no help. I was just like, I can't do this. What's happening? What is Zoom?
I know. No, you do know what you're doing. This is just me. I'm a dinosaur. But anyway, we got there in the end. How is everything in LA? How is everything going?
Oh, everything is amazing in LA. They're actually opening the beaches, I think, today or tomorrow, so we'll be able to go for walks on the beach. So I'm pretty excited about that, I have to say.
Oh, that would be good. So have you really not been able to go out at all until now?
I mean, yeah, we can. You can go out around your neighborhood or you can drive to another neighborhood and go out. But I mean, the hikes are closed, the beaches are closed. There's a couple of little areas you can go to. But I mean, I love the beach and I love going for walks on the beach. So to not even be able to do that is just, it's difficult. I'm also in an apartment, like the upstairs of a house. So we don't have a balcony or much outdoor space. You know, if you had a garden, it'd be totally different.
No, God, it
I'm
would
just
be.
looking forward to some form of reality, you know?
No, of course, of course, of course. But I need to ask because I will always ask this because I've got this vision of LA always being drenched in sunshine. Is it drenched in sunshine right now?
Yes, it is. It is, and
And
it is always gorgeous. And yes, you get the odd day that it's cloudy and overcast, which to be honest, I have a 7-month-old baby, so I enjoy those days because I can take him out and not worry about the sun, you know, like being in his eyes or what direction you go for a walk in. So I enjoy the cloudy days. I love the rainy days, and we do have them as well. But like, it's a really 80-20. 80% of the time, you're getting incredibly beautiful weather. So
I can cope with that. Mind you, we can't complain.
I
But tell
can.
me, what made you move to LA?
Well, actually, I'm Irish, and I originally first moved to London I lived in London probably for about 4.5 years. And me and my husband, I loved London. The first year in London was incredibly difficult. I just found it a really hard place to settle into. It's just very fast-paced life, the amount of people, how expensive it was, you know. But after about a year, we kind of it was me, my boyfriend at the time, my husband now, and my sister moved there. After about a year, everything kind of settled in. We had found the right jobs, our careers were going well, we were kind of making money, like we were working our way up the ladder. And then we fell in love with London and we stayed there for another 3.5 years. And we literally, myself and my husband were on a train going to, I think it was Bruges, when you could do the Eurostar, is that what it's called?
I
And
love
we
the
just were
Eurostar.
like, I just can't do this weather anymore. I was like, is this it? Like, we had traveled previously to me living in London. Me and my husband had traveled around the world, and we'd lived in Australia, and we spent like 6 months in Asia. So we love the sun. And we were like, is this it? Like, are we going to live in London for the rest of our lives? Are we going to do this winter every year? You know, do we have anything else? We know we want to continue to travel, but we're also getting somewhere in our careers. We can't go backpacking again. You know, we've been there, done that. And so he'd never been to LA, and he was like, what about LA? And I was like, nah. And I'd been to LA for work. I'd come for the Oscars and for the Globes. And I was just like, oh, I don't know. Will we, won't we? And he said,
It's
I don't know.
different, going to visit for an event and living, very different things.
Yeah, and the thing about it was, because he had the, like, on, you know, the show Entourage. Have you ever seen it, where they're in LA and he's an
Yeah.
actor? So he had like the glamorous LA picture in his head. But because I'd been to LA for work, I had West Hollywood in my head, which was
Yeah.
kind of grimy, and you know, it's not for me, and I don't ever go to West Hollywood. But he kind of had the dreamy notion, because I'd been there once or twice. And I was like, oh, I don't know. But I hadn't been to Malibu. I hadn't been to Santa Monica. I hadn't been to Venice. I had only gone to West Hollywood, worked there. It was a crazy mad rush, 2 or 3 days, and then back to the airport. So I never seen the beach side of LA.
The beauty, the
Um,
the the, the nature of
the
California and
nature is,
going up
yeah.
towards Carmel and that area, beautiful.
Oh, I
Northern
mean, just, yeah.
California.
California in general, like where we are, the amount of places that we can go to that are an hour or two drive. And he's really into that, and he's in hospitality, and he likes wine, so he knows about all the vineyards. So he had all that pictured in his head, and I kind of had like my visit. And we both worked for companies. I worked for Charlotte Tilbury. He still works for Soho House, and they needed people in LA. And so it just ended up working out really well.
Ah,
And it was
you were,
just,
I'm a member of Soho House. I love it. How lovely. But I haven't
yeah,
been. One I really want to go to is the Miami one. That's on my list.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. It's really gorgeous. I've been to a few of them because if I'm working in Miami or working in certain places, Dave can luckily get me on the guest list, which is amazing. So I can hang out there for a few hours before I do my job. But I just think they're the most amazing places to be. Like, they're just so, the interior is beautiful, you know, so chill. They always get it right. It's really nice.
Now, the chat today is called All About the Base, which is, I guess, the kind of the marriage between skincare and makeup. And I think something that I find really interesting is that I'm relatively new to this. I mean, skincare, yes, I know I've been developing my own brand for the last 7 years, and it's in my DNA. But working with makeup artists, I've only been doing it the last couple of years, really, and I found it such a gorgeous cohesion of you, the artist, and actually understanding the nuances of the palette and the colors, but also working with skin, because clearly you're trying to get whatever the brief is from your client, whether or not it be Nicole Kidman or Kate Bosworth or one of your fab clients, you've got to I guess the ultimate thing is them looking healthy and glowing. And then when you've got a beautiful canvas to work from, then you can enhance that with incredible, you know, the most incredible makeup now, which is available, which is just mind-blowing how color cosmetics has evolved in the last 5 years, particularly. But tell me, do you have a particular skin routine? I mean, you have got stunning skin. It would be awful, imagine if you didn't, and that would be a problem. But clearly you look like the most perfectly made up person.
Well, thank you. I'll take
do
that.
you have regular facials and stuff? I put makeup on specially for you today, by the way, just to try and impress you.
I'm just mesmerized by your skin right now. You have the most gorgeous skin. I'm like gonna zoom in on this if I could.
Oh my God, please don't zoom in as she backs away. No, but actually one of the things that I don't do are facials, because I don't have the time. I'd love to have facials. I used to have facials all the time when I was in my early 20s. And I was obsessed by them. I used to have cathiodermy and some really beautiful kind of LED treatments way back in the late 80s and early 90s. But I just don't have the time now, which I would love. If I'm going to do anything, I would probably have, like, you know, light therapy, LED treatments, maybe some microneedling. Those are the only things that I tend to do. I'm not into tools. I don't do tools, and we have our own facial. But we've just opened up, you probably know, but we've just opened up in Cariswan in West Hollywood.
Well, this is what I was going to say. I get a lot of questions. I mean, one from my clients, or a lot of the time just from people on Instagram, or people asking because they know I would be going for treatments, and they know that I work with celebrities, and they kind of ask me like, should I really be going for a facial every month? And what my answer to that is, yes, you should be going for a facial every month or every 6 weeks, every 8 weeks, if you're going to someone who you trust and who's amazing. Lena in Cariswan, I think is how you say it, is incredible. Like, I've never met anyone like her. How she, you know, she understands all the ingredients of the products. She understands the science of the skin. You know, she won't do anything on your skin that's going to aggravate your skin. And I think her thing is like, you know, there's no point in putting yourself through hell and back. And you're, you know, a lot of the time if you go for facials, you're kind of being a guinea pig for these people because a new treatment came out or a new machine came out, or, you know, they're not really, they're not educating themselves on what their beliefs are, what they, you know, what their passion is for skincare. So they're just getting a brand of products coming in going, hey, why don't you try this? And they're like, okay, but they're not educating themselves on skin science. Whereas when you go into Lena, if I say to her, what do you think of this brand? She's like, well, this is this, and you don't need to do this. And, you know, I'm not coming out of there like with a ton of products that I'm not going to use. And when I go in there, it's all about skin health, you know? So yes, go have your facial if you have somebody that you trust who really, really knows what they're talking about. But if you're just going for willy-nilly facials with this person and that person, or the worst is when people get those deals on the internet. Oh, I got a package deal for a facial, you know, with someone that you don't know what products they're using, you don't know if they're even educated in using these machines, you know, or, you know, the microneedling and all that is really great, but if it's not done with the right hands, then it's
No,
not going to be good for your
100%.
skin.
It's scary, Mary. And one of the things that I find when I'm talking to clients from my perspective that come to me is the inconsistency. So as you say, they jump around and they go to different facialists, and it creates trauma. And also your skin gets incredibly confused because you need someone to know you, know your skin, and know how your skin what your lifestyle is. And if you can't just plug yourself into a different therapist every month because you're bored, and as you say, Lena really understands her client list. The reason that she attracts people who are really have got this amazing relationship with her is because she nurtures them, she invests in them, and that is quite rare. And I've yet to find, there's only one in London who I still go to very, like, twice a year, Eve Lom. And she has got very traditional principles of massage techniques. And I learned a lot of through our facial, our metabolic facial that Lena now does for us. I managed to translate that through working with Eve 27 years ago. And now creating our own facial, which I know that Karaswan are adopting. But it just is, I wonder, because the phrase I use is nurture, not torture. Because there are so many things tools, as you say, that people should not really be subjected to. Just because there's a new piece of technology does not mean to say that it's suitable for your skin. And I just think that
realize
people are so
fragile.
No, exactly that. And they're impatient for the next new great thing, right? And just because you can plug it into the wall, no chance. So massage techniques, the right products. So I guess when you're doing a red carpet, anybody would know that you wouldn't go and have anything dramatic like a peel or anything done, just before a makeup.
For people watching this, maybe they don't realize that. I think they have to understand that Karaswan do this. There's a red carpet facial, and then there's different type of facials that you may have a little downtime from. But red carpet facials, you're not going to have like an aggressive peel. But even these aggressive peels, like, do you remember in Sex and the City where Samantha gets the peel and she wears the black veil because she's got like a red, her face is burnt off. And it's like, we don't need to
melted.
do that. That was a fad or a phase, and your skin doesn't need to go through that much trauma to then heal and have new skin. It's like, you don't need to do that to yourself. Or else this vampire facial, again, if it's done right, maybe, but people are just kind of seeing these things on celebrities that may have been paid, or on Instagram that could be a paid post, and they think, okay, I need that. But instead of going to the actual source where that happened, they're doing with God knows who, and they're making their skin worse. So, and it's the same with skincare. I always say this to my clients, to my friends, to anyone who asks me about skincare. It's like, it's not always the most expensive skincare is the one that works. Like, it has to work for you. So it's like, you need to ask about the ingredients. You need to ask about how the product is made, where it's coming from. Then you need to understand those ingredients. So if you go into a beauty hall and you go into these, places where the moisturizer is $400, why is it $400? What's in it? Like, read the ingredients, do your research. It's the same when you go to the supermarket and you want to buy, I don't know, any sort of packaged food. Like, if you're buying a box of fruit that's already chopped up, is there sugar in there? Why do you need sugar in your fruit? You don't. So once you become aware of ingredients, you are going to be able to shop better for yourself, because otherwise I don't want to buy a box of fruit that has sugar in it that's going to give me extra calories that I don't need.
No, God, no.
I
wonder whether or not that's because you're yeah. Do you think that's because you live in LA and everyone's very switched on, sort of, non-toxic beauty, clean beauty as we call it over here? Or do you think it just is this sort of awareness that's coming through now, which is about just having that own self-regulating guidance, so that I guess that you're your own judge of what you are consuming, what you're purchasing, what you're putting onto your body?
Yeah, I don't think it's an LA thing, because, some of the cleanest brands that I use come from the UK, so it's not just an LA thing. I think, yes, there is more awareness in LA, but I think the UK, Ireland is very pure as well. There's a great skincare brand that comes from there where they use pure ingredients. I think it's the advertising world and educating people. I think we're sort of breaking through with social media. You can get to people quicker. So I think people are more aware now about what's in their food, what's in their skincare. We're just waking up a little bit, I think. I was always passionate about skincare and I learned about it. So then I was able to go down the road of clean skincare. Whereas I think the consumer has trusted what they hear or what they see, and now they're kind of going, well, hold on a minute, maybe that's not true.
I think there's a lot of one of my biggest battles is trying to communicate what clean means. And I won't use this space or this precious time with you to talk about that, but I think there's a lot more awareness about it, and it's just good, you know, if you get out what you put in, right? But tell me, I'm curious, because when I have had the luxury of having my face professionally made up, I always feel really quite self-conscious, I guess, because I'm probably naturally quite a tomboy. I'm not really I like the natural look and the no makeup look, even though I'll always do my eyebrows every day of the week. I have to do my eyebrows. That is, it was Elizabeth Hurley who told me that you got to have with good eyebrows, and then the rest falls into place.
True.
But I guess that because there are so many fake enhancements that go on, and I'm not talking about necessarily crazy Botox anymore, because that's dying a death. I don't think that's, I think, you know, fillers and Botox and stuff, I think it's seen its day now, and I think for sure it's starting to wane. But you must so enjoy, like I'm looking at the structure of your face now and seeing that you're very asymmetrical and perfect. I actually feel like
I'm going to definitely wouldn't say that.
I'm going to do your makeup one day. I'm definitely going to do your makeup for you one day. Because I love doing makeup I do it on my daughter. I love doing makeup on other people. But to have a beautiful brow, to have a beautiful brow bone, to have beautiful cheekbones for you to be able to enhance. Do you think it's all about, you know, and contouring? Oh my God, it's something I know that was...
Contouring is a lifesaver.
Is it? Well, then I need to be taught.
It really is. Especially, I have like a full face, and I feel like a little contour really goes a long way, you know, just to kind of carve out a little definition. And I don't mind having a full face, because I know I'll age a little bit better. If I had a super like sculptured face now, it'll probably, you don't age as well, you know, because I'm a little plumper. But you know, the contouring will give you that fullness, and then you just get a little more angle to your face, or you can slim your nose a little bit. That's more flattering, you know. So I'm a big fan of contour. There is little tricks you can do at makeup that really enhance the
totally to do those tricks. And having a 19-year-old daughter who's obsessed by makeup, she has got so many pens and pencils and powders, and
she's probably amazing, because she's came up and learned on YouTube, so she could be a makeup artist
herself. Learned on YouTube, and I just love watching, you know, men put makeup on, you know, drag queens. I just love it, and I just think, oh my God, they're just exquisitely beautiful. I'm just more of a plain Jane. But tell me,
you're so not a plain Jane, but I want to do your makeup, you can do mine. We'll see who the plain Jane is.
Yes, let's do that. Well, I was going to say next time I'm in LA. But I need to make a confession right now. I've never been to LA.
Stop. It's somewhere you have to come. You have to come once.
In my long-legged life, I've never been to LA. I feel so like I've just come out of a cave. But I will come, because I want to come and see Tom and Lena in Cariswan.
Yeah.
And also some of our best clients are in California. So I'm definitely coming. Probably going to be.
Oh, you have to.
I'm definitely coming, and I will definitely do your makeup, and that'll be a hoot. But one of the things I was super excited about, and this is something that only happened because of the PR that's happened recently, is that we've been invited to do a lot of facials pre a red carpet event. So
I love this.
Oh my God, so fun. So Bath and I get so excited, because I know who are having the facials and then going on to have makeup. But to think that we can play a part in that feeling, and I guess that if you are about to, you know, whether or not it's for a photo shoot or whether or not it's for an event, you know, you want to create a feeling for that person, that you want that the client to feel really nurtured and loved, and that their facialist and their makeup artist are there for them, and in the entirety are wanting them to have a really special experience. But I love how the two marry very naturally. it is huge, and so there's a lot of fun to be had, and in fact or makeup artists are loving using our cleanser because it takes all your eye makeup off and all of your makeup, and our serum is great as a primer. I didn't expect that would be a thing, but it just is a natural sort of byproduct of having a
This
good
is the
basic
advanced
skincare
cell,
range.
or it's Supercell.
The advanced supercell serum.
It's so
I think
great.
it's because it's so lightweight, it absorbs, it leaves this sort of primed skin. It's working really, really well. So
well, if it works with your skin, it's going to work with your makeup, you know. So it's like people don't realize it's all about the canvas, and there's no foundation. You can't design a foundation that's going to like make your skin look good without the right product underneath, without the right skincare, you know. I mean, I have every foundation under the sun, and I barely use the foundations. What works for me, and even with the red carpet, especially for the Globes or for the Oscars, I feel like actresses are under a little bit more pressure on how they look compared to models. I think if you're a model, you can go a little bit more adventurous with your look, but you know, the Oscars is a very kind of, you know, the classical look that people are going to show up in, you know, and it's very like Grace Kelly, you know, clean but glamorous and still a little bit Hollywood. And it is that skin, that Hollywood skin is what represents it. It's kind of like you're a movie star, you're flawless, but you're not wearing any makeup, but you happen to look like, you know, just perfect, and you've got the most perfect breath. So it's like,
that must be the hardest thing for a makeup artist is a bit like when you say to a hairdresser, can you cut my hair, but don't take any length off.
But don't take any off. Don't make me look like I had a haircut.
Yeah. Can you just make me look really natural, but I need to wear a ton of makeup because I look really scraggy underneath. That must be really hard.
Also,
but I guess
they genuinely are some of the most beautiful women in the world. But at the same time, I don't think people see how hard they work and how much they're filming. They're jumping on a plane, they're heading back to see their kids for as long as they can before they have to go to a red carpet and then do a red eye and then back on a plane and then shooting somewhere for 3 days. And it sounds so glamorous, but I've done that lifestyle with them for a couple of days or a week or so, and your skin takes a massive hit. You're exhausted, you know, just because you're on planes, one, which destroys your skin, and then you're on different time zones, and when they shoot really late, or they're up early, or they get very little sleep, or they're putting all these prosthetic makeup on, you know. So then to do all of that, in the middle have the Oscars or Golden Globes, this huge carpet where they have to show up like their best self. And now with the HD cameras, you can see every little flake of skin and hair on the skin.
Pore. No,
there's no room for error.
I have. Do you know what? How fabulous that you just said that, because it's so true. I have so much respect for anybody in the film industry. Actors,
it is not glamorous. It's hard work,
because they are, you know, most of the time they're doing what they love, and they can because they love the piece. You know, when they are when they're premiering their new movie, it is just like
non-stop
switching on and having to be, you know, you tell, but you have to switch it on, being tits and teeth, and it must be, I would be in such a bad mood. I don't know how they do it, so I have a lot of respect.
I do too, I have to say, and I always thought, oh my God, so glamorous. And then when you see the amount of work that goes into it, obviously there's a lot of glamorous things as well, but it is a hard work, like being an actor, being on set. Like, I don't want to do that. I don't envy them. I don't look at it and go, God, like you would have to be so passionate about that to do that job, you know, because
this is a question that is not, I don't want to sort of sound inappropriate asking it, but because when they are in, when an actor is in the zone of just wanting to time out, and just being
the opposite,
just being offset, just being able to breathe, being able to stop, being able to have a glass of water or a cup of coffee without, you know, just having to be on screen, or that moment when you are making them up, that must be a really special moment, because you must be able to pick up and be very intuitive about whether or not they don't want to talk or whether they do want to talk, and you just have to sort of really pick up on their energy as to whether or not they're, you know, they just want to have a, you know, it must be a very special, intimate experience, because you need to be able to gauge quite carefully what mood they're in. And I guess you can't be, I mean, you've done too many super duper people to not be starstruck. But it's a real
You can't,
privilege and
yeah.
a real
If you are,
respect
you
for
have
that
to hold it
industry.
in.
Oh
You
yeah,
can't show
yeah.
any of that 100%.
Oh God, have you ever been starstruck? Go on, just
I
between
mean,
you
of
and me.
course, yeah, 100%. I definitely have. I don't get to a point, I don't know what's, you know, you get that feeling when you're like, oh my God, that's that person that I actually really admire, that I've watched their movies, you know, and it happens and it's like a quick moment and then it's done and it's back to work and it's just a client and a makeup artist relationship and you're just trying to give them what they need and you have to, I don't really think about it, but I do have sometimes a little feeling of like, oh yeah, that's nice. And then I move on. Because you'd be crazy not to, you know, it's just,
But
you
I
just
think
do,
whether
you
they're
know.
famous or not, I think it's just having that relationship, that connection. And you know, and it is a very, I mean, you are, you know, working on somebody's face, which is their expression of their, you know, their personality and how they want to be perceived and seen. So it's a very close proximity and a real privilege, I can imagine. And I can imagine also to do well and be successful in your field, you need to be really sensitive, very empathetic, and very gentle, actually. And you come across as super gentle. I know you are anyway, but I'm sure that's
But
why.
you do. Gentle is a word that I would use, that you have to have an approach with makeup. And like they may only have 20 minutes, 30 minutes in between, you know, filming and going to a red carpet and their kids could be there and there's a lot happening and they don't need someone like hurting them at the same time, trying to whack on a mascara or lashes or,
Oh,
you know, so you're trying to do makeup that they can barely feel. What I've learned to do, and I think is a really great tip for any makeup artist, is just be quick. Be able to do makeup really fast and take 10 minutes, half of your time, even if you have 20 minutes, and spend it on the skin. You know, give them a luxury treatment that's relaxing, let them unwind, you know, massage their skin, cleanse their skin. You know, I do spend so much time with the skin. I do with my clients going, are you going to have enough time to do my makeup? And I'm like, that's actually the easy part. I'm going to be able to do that really fast because I'm giving you a facial massage and
you're a woman
relaxing
after
you.
my own heart. Yeah.
You don't need to spend a long time on makeup if you kind of know the tricks of the trade and you've been doing it as long as I have and you know what works for red carpet. And you know, it's not about piling makeup on. As much as I, like you were saying, you love to watch the makeup videos with the, you know, drag queens and how amazing it is, it's very different to that. But you will take tiny techniques that are the same. You know, you will use powder in the same way and bake a little bit, but you know, you're not going to do it everywhere. So it's being able to speed that bit up and then make the first part, the skincare, the really relaxing part that they enjoy. I just think it's like that luxuriness, it relaxes them, and then they have the makeup on and all of a sudden it's like, okay, that was actually an enjoyable experience, you know.
Completely. And it's exactly, and it makes them feel good. And we all know how, you know,
Yeah.
great you look, so like Scarlett Johansson, you know.
Oh God, I'll take that. Thank you. I mean, right now I'm not, I look nice because I've put an effort in for you. But lately I'm like, God, I need to just get up and get myself going. Like I can't have another day of my hair in a bun and no makeup. It's just too much.
It's
Been 3 months now.
well, that's it. It's an effort, isn't it? It's an effort, but it's just so fun. You know, I guess you should say there's that the glamour of knowing if you're in the mood that we can do it ourselves at home and we can do as little or as much as we want to do. But yeah, if it's your job, you know, as an actor, a performer, or anybody for that matter who just wants to, you know, be seen in their best light, then you do such a beautiful job for them and such a natural look without them walking down the red carpet looking like drag queens.
And generally, especially my clients, they don't, it's like there's makeup, you can wear makeup or makeup can wear you. And you don't want, the worst thing you want someone to say is, oh, wasn't her foundation nice or something? Because you're seeing the foundation. You need to be like, oh my God, her skin is incredible. Like you want people to just go, what you don't want them to necessarily compliment the makeup. It has to be about the person. Like their eyes were sparkling, their skin looked amazing. You know, haven't they beautiful, symmetric in their face, like that kind of thing. You know, the contour.
Well, just
that
they look well, even though they might be absolutely knackered. That they look well, as you say. You just want to feel, because you know how good you feel when you are feeling well.
Exactly.
And then, you know, you
rested.
look like you're in rude health and you have got that glow.
Yeah.
But I love the fact that you said that, because I say that about wearing perfume, that the perfume shouldn't wear you. You should be wearing the perfume.
Exactly.
And it shouldn't, I mean, that the makeup shouldn't be walking in front of the person.
Exactly.
That it should be part of that person. And exactly, you say exactly the same things. I say exactly the same about about our perfume.
And it's why I can wear a scent and then my sister might put on the same scent and it's nicer on her or it's nicer on me because it's going with our pheromones, you know. And it's like, why, you can, that's a smell will bring you straight back to someone, to your granny or to whoever, you know, the smell of an old lipstick, not like an old dodgy lipstick, as in like how lipsticks used to smell like 20 years ago, you know.
Oh
You'll
my God,
never
that's
not know
so
that
weird
smell.
that you said that, because I remember the smell of my grandmother's lipstick. It probably was made of whale blubber. And I remember the smell of her makeup and everything. And I remember buying my first lipstick, and the smell of it, it's, you know, really extraordinary. Those scent memories. I mean, but that's kind of, you know,
It's
what we grew
incredible.
up with, and it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. But I'm so glad now there are so many more cruelty-free makeup brands as well.
100%.
We're doing a little bit of, oh my God, so exciting. I mustn't drop names. But we're working with a really cool brand right now, which is very, very exciting. And they're
You're doing a collaboration, are you saying, with a makeup brand?
We are.
Ooh, that's
I will tell you
exciting.
after. I will tell you after. But sweetie,
I'm very excited about that.
It's been gorgeous talking to you. And Bagsy, do your makeup next time I come over. Oh my God,
anytime.
Yeah,
and your brand is amazing. I really, really love it, I have to say. So, you know, I'm just, keep up the good work. It's just amazing to see someone so passionate about skincare. And it's not easy to deliver at the highest standards. It really isn't, you know. But you guys, it's so good. Thank you.
And it's great because I really, really appreciate that, because I know that you see a lot of beautiful brands. But I was very touched that Cara Swan took us on, and that was just because we have got a very, you know, it's just God, my father said it's not what you know, it's who you know. And we're so lucky that it happened to go into a set of LA celebrity hands, and that little clique told, and then there we are. And that's because, you know, where there's a will, there's a way, right? It's I haven't had to push it. It just is a natural evolution, which is just so
Which is
touching.
just why it's so nice how you connect with people when you stay true to yourself. It's easy to do something to try and get a celebrity or get the brand somewhere. When you really do it for the right reasons, you end up then connecting with all the same people. You're drawn towards each other, which is like, which money can't buy.
Well,
you know?
I can't afford to do the paying for someone to endorse it. I mean, we're a small,
and everybody knows now, well, that person is paid. It's not the same. It's not
the same. It takes a little bit longer this way, but it's got more integrity about it.
Exactly. That's the word I was looking for. Yeah.
So I'm going to head west. When I come and see you, I will be slightly overexcited.
I can't wait. We'll have to do a video. You can do my makeup.
Oh yeah, I mean, that'll be worth videoing. I promise I won't make too much of a hash. I promise. I'm not that.
No, you're fine. You can do it over a glass of wine.
Oh God! And you must tell your husband that your husband might well have heard of my brother's rosé. It's called Mirabeau. It's very big in Europe. Yes. Okay. So I know that he's got. Seriously, you see, there you go. How famous is he now? Because every time, even LA, I mention Mirabeau, everyone goes, "Oh yeah, I know that."
I'm pretty sure they serve that in his restaurant.
Oh, cool. Yeah. And they've just brought out a really gorgeous pink gin as well. So we'll have to raise a glass of that next time I see you, yes?
Okay, pink gin. Definitely into that.
Pink gin. Yeah. We've gone on to
alcohol. Thank you for telling me about
that. Very disturbing. It's literally my gin and tonic time of day. It's 7:30 p.m.
You got to get out to that garden.
I know, I will do. But it's still like a cup of coffee time. It's like mid-morning for you now, isn't it? Or
yeah. I mean, I'd take a gin. I'd be okay with that. I'm Irish.
I won't tell a soul. I promise you, I won't tell a soul.
I mean, my hair and makeup is done. I have to do something.
I know. It was so good talking to you. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks so much.
And we'll speak soon. Take care. Thanks for your time, honey. Bye. Bye.